You ready to go? Shall we go?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Outerbout. I am Patrick, and you all know my friends.
Chili.
Buttermilk.
Zucchini bread.
Eric.
Jimmy Mac.
Eric B.
And Jerry.
And we're coming to you live. I always want to say live there, don't I? Every single time.
We are live.
I'm like,
we do record live.
well, we are alive.
Yeah.
This is live to tape.
Live to tape.
Live to tape.
Live
So
to
coming to you live to tape, from tape. We're not even on tape,
It's
are
like
we?
reel to reel. at this
Live
point.
from
Digital.
memory card.
Live
out
from
the-
digital.
Live from digital. Put out on the Ethernet by not Ethernet. I even got that wrong. Boy.
I do use Ethernet.
Okay. Well, I
At
don't.
home.
What do you use Ethernet for?
I am hardwired so that I can get the fastest upload with my slow internet at home, remember?
With your antiquated dial-up internet, 1927. Anyways, so
You sitting between Eric Hyfield and myself, that threw me. I'm like,
I
this
know, it's
isn't
weird,
normal.
right?
Who's supposed to do what?
well,
I know
what-
I was going to skip and see if he would go and then I could go, but it's going to mess everybody up.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to explain because I know a lot of you out there are listening to us live from your YouTube channel. Podcast
Yeah.
app. You know what? You take it.
I will. So a lot of folks listen on their podcast app. They don't watch the video. May not even know we do a video on YouTube under the Outer Belt. So normally here in the studio, if you're watching the video, straight ahead is Patrick, and then to Patrick's right, it's Chili, and then to Chili's right, it's Buttermilk, and then to Buttermilk's right, it's usually Eric, and then across the table from Eric is Zucchini Bread. To Zucchini Bread's right is Jerry, and then we get right back around to Patrick. Well, today we mixed it up a little bit. We have a couple of special guests in the studio. So Zucchini Bread is sitting between Buttermilk and Eric.
Yes.
And across the way from Eric is Jimmy and Eric B. So that's what we've done to change it up a little bit, so it might sound a little bit different, but it's going to be fun.
Sounds like we're part of like a K-pop rock group or something, and these were all our names.
I'm going demon hunting later on tonight if anybody wants to go.
Ooh.
I don't know what that means, but I've seen it on Amazon.
I just have purple hair. That's all
there
I'm
you
saying.
go.
That's it.
There you go.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? You can have purple hair for the rest of this podcast because the listener doesn't know any better.
They have no idea.
And,
That's
and
true.
the people watching on YouTube, Jerry's going to color correct your hair only
Just the purple.
for the entire podcast.
Jerry's like, I need to find a net for that.
You can do it.
Well, I mean, he is the best, right? I heard someone once say he's the administrator extraordinaire or something like that. Most
Super.
important,
Super
super
administrator.
administrator. It's the best, most important person in all of Hyfield trucking. So I'm sure you can figure that out.
No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah.
I can do it.
Sure. Here's a picture of Heather right here with purple hair.
Purple hair, purple
Oh,
hair.
that's funny.
There you go.
So yeah, we've got some fun times. So those of you who don't know, Jimmy Mack is over our maintenance department over at Hyfield Trucking. He is the bomb.edu. And he is the knowledge base for everything maintenance related. So when you call Jimmy Mack and you say Jimmy,
Yes, sir.
yeah, okay. You say, I've got a Dumaflitchy noise, and it's just not right. He can go like, well, does it happen when you turn left or right? And you go like, only when I turn right. And then he automatically knows, of course, that means you've got a...
Loose Dumaflitchy.
See? It's so
He
easy.
knows
It's so
that.
easy. Vince
Yeah, I
answered it
picked
for
up
me.
Exactly.
on that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Eric's like, I got to write down what a Dumaflitchy
He
is.
does.
I was
Yes,
going
he
with the
does.
broken flux capacitor.
Oh,
No, that's
That's-
only on acceleration when it stalls out for that quick second.
Yeah.
That's the flux capacitor.
That's
Well, that's
okay. You have
because-
a lot to learn.
Yeah, we'll work on that tomorrow.
We broke all of our flux capacitors intentionally. None of our trucks go 88.
So did you say Dumaflitchy?
Dumaflitchy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I put that in a report,
Just make sure you spell it right.
understood.
That's right. And we do use the Old English spelling.
We do.
It's a
Yeah.
weird quirk.
Yeah,
Eric
it is.
H made us use that, but it's fine. So, Jimmy, you're in from Georgia, where you normally live.
Yes.
And work from, and then you brought up Eric B, and y'all have been hanging out the first part of this week with us. You're going to be here for a few more days. Why?
Eric's in training. He's started March 1st, And I always try to make a couple trips up to Columbus to make visits to all our shops and make an appearance and continue networking and develop all those relationships we have over the last several years. And it's always good for new people to put faces to names. And he's been emailing people already, and he got to meet a lot of them. And we got more to meet, and we'll be here all week.
Awesome. Awesome. I know, Eric, you and I were talking earlier, and you were talking about climbing through the trucks and actually like playing with the different things and learning our procedures and all that stuff. And you said it was illuminating, so to speak, is what you said, about just being able to see all these trucks because everything so far has been like emails, right, and conversation. And
Correct. Yep. So when drivers would call in and they would bring up anything that was wrong with the truck, I would do my best to try to help them out, and I would look through Google and try to figure out what was on the truck. But with Google, you have 15 different brands or 15 different kinds of things. So I'd find something and I would think, okay, I'm going to send this over to the driver. But if I send them the wrong thing, it doesn't help them at all. So putting eyes on the trucks, seeing what we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and then, also meeting operations and building that relationship to where I can reach out to them and say, hey, could you, lend me a hand? It's been very beneficial.
Cool. And how's it been so far? Because I know you spent some time with Vince in the yard, right? Like that's been y'all like one of the big projects you've been, or has that not happened yet?
Yeah, we went through. Eric and I did the exterior and box on initial inspection on Monday morning, and then he spent time with Mel on the interior and cab on an initial inspection in the afternoon. So we still have to go over a couple of different components. We tried to show him an APU yesterday, but it wasn't working. So we're going to go through all the different APUs tomorrow or Thursday and work on what that looks like, what they look like, and some of the troubleshooting steps that we go through in the yard to get those working.
But don't you feel like showing him an APU that's not working is an accurate display of...
Sure. of how APUs present themselves.
Pivot.
Yes.
Yeah, a very accurate display, sure.
Are we up to 3 APUs? I know we just had a conversation maybe 2 months ago.
Four.
We're up to 4.
Yeah.
And then do they all...
Five. We're up to 5.
Oh my.
Are you talking about the big one?
Big Dynasis, Little Dynasis.
Oh, that's right.
Onan,
Yeah.
Onan.
Comfort Pro, Aspen.
Yeah.
Well, the
So
nice
do
thing
they
about
all
the
reset differently? That's my quick question. Like if they
Yeah, go ahead.
trip? Because I'm only familiar with the one with the big red button.
The Comfort Pros.
That's
Yes.
Comfort Pro.
We only
So-
ever had the Comfort Pro.
But do they all reset differently now?
Well, the two Dynasis are the only difference between them that we deal with is the fact that one is a larger output than the other.
I see.
As far as the controller and how to reset them, they work the same way.
Nice. So that's
So-
kind of the stuff you'll be showing, Eric?
Yes.
That was my question.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly.
Thanks.
Which we did talk about some of that yesterday afternoon, too, on the Dynasis.
Yeah.
So between you and Mel, it was easy for me today when I ran a VIR on the truck because a lot of what we went through yesterday, I was able to, use it today.
Sure.
And understand what I was looking at to move through the truck.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good experience.
Oh, yeah.
To have someone from maintenance in the yard going over this equipment with us, it really is.
Well, and it's such a crash course, right? Like we always talk about, you get a brand new team in, and we spend an hour, 2 hours, something like that with them going over the truck,
Sure.
depending on learning curve. If you have experience, it's a little faster. If you don't, it could take a little longer. But you're not going over a truck that Eric's going to drive for the next 6 months to a year to 2 years. You're going over 15 different variations
Exactly.
of trucks, and
Exactly.
you get 10 minutes with the Dynasis, and then we have to go look at the Onan, then we have to go look at the Comfort Pro, and then we have to go look at the Aspen, and then we have to go figure out why the Dynasis didn't work, and
Right.
like all that stuff. Whereas, typically when a team comes in, they don't have to do that. They kind
No,
of
they
learn
just
their
learn
truck.
their truck
Sure.
and move on from there. And then the time that we spend with them on their truck, we give them so much information.
Oh yeah,
And that's really where the mentor program comes in, is because our mentors have dealt with this equipment as well. And if you see it happen once, when you have a question for your mentor on how to turn the APU on, because you can forget. I remember our first night in the truck, I called you and asked you questions about the APU that you had shown us. So you have so much going on that a team can call their mentor and the mentor can walk them through it. And if you've seen it, you understand what they're talking about. It's not all foreign language to you. So it works out really well that way. But yeah, Eric is getting just thrown into the frying pan.
And let me add something to that. I plan on spending some time in the trucks tomorrow. I live in North Georgia. I work remotely. I've been doing this for 5 years, but I need a refresher from time to time and go through everything again. See, like the Aspen. I've seen the Aspen one time last time I came to Columbus. So, you know,
Oh, we do have
I
an
have
Aspen.
to keep. It's like continuing education for me coming up here and going back through trucks.
I was thinking a minute ago, we don't have an Aspen in the yard to show you, but we actually do have an Aspen. It's over at QSmart, but we can get it back for you.
Or we can go over there.
We go over there, one of the two.
So coming from recruiting and our lovely new app, I know even prior to the app, Jerry has done a wonderful catalog of videos, how-to videos designated for each truck. So when you come on board with Hyfield, you would have this catalog in the Hyfield app readily accessible to maybe assist you with how to start the generator up.
And clarify also that when you go into the Hyfield app, you choose your truck, and it's showing you just the equipment that's on your truck.
Yes, it's
and
truck
not,
specific to just
You're not going through 3 different APUs trying to figure out which one is yours.
No, so...
And real quick, I just want to add that that's not just for new drivers. That's for people who are already in the fleet.
Sure,
They download the app.
Yeah.
Their truck's in there. So
Yes.
if they need a refresher, too, on how to do something.
So my question, I guess, now that we've sold the app, because if you don't have the app and you're with Hyfield, I don't know.
Get it.
something.
You're
Gotta
missing
get
out.
it.
Get it. Get it. It's
But anyway,
worth
do you all, have you looked at some of Jerry's videos to go, oh, I kind of can understand now what the person on the other phone or whatever end is trying to say? Because sometimes, having that visual, are his videos helpful
Absolutely.
to maintenance?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You can try to explain to somebody what to do when they see it for themselves.
Sure.
It makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
That catalog's been...
Well,
Well,
that's kind of
very
it's kind of
helpful.
what we just said. We talk about the big red button on the Comfort Pro, right? That you reset it of.
Yeah.
When you actually look at it, it's not that big.
It's not that
When
big.
you think of a big red button, I
It's not
think
that
of
big,
I think of like the trailer brake button on a truck, and
Sure.
when you get in there, it's smaller than a dime.
It
it
is.
is a tiny little
a tiny
button.
little button.
So it's
but
not
we-
like the Office Depot.
that was
No,
easy. No, it's nothing like
no,
that.
no.
It
I love
reminds
it.
me of the plug that pops out of the turkey, the little red
Yes,
stopper.
that's
that
yes,
goes-
exactly.
It looks
Yeah.
like.
It's just this little stopper.
Yep.
It's not very big.
Well, I can imagine too. All of this experience, being in the yard, seeing all these different trucks. When you watch those videos, it's probably going to give you a better understanding of like where this is, how it's working, as opposed to like the way I process it is. I like boats and I like RVs, so I'll watch some like reviews of them occasionally on like different RVs and boats. And sometimes when you watch a video, you're like, oh, I think I realize how this works, whatever. And then if you go to a boat show and you actually get on the boat, you're like, oh, that's not at all what I thought it was going to be like. It's totally different, or it's way bigger, way smaller. It's in a different spot. It's a little harder to get to. Like, when Jerry goes there and films it, he's trying to get the best angles and everything so that you can see everything that's going on crystal clear. What they don't show you is that you are contorted in such a way to be able to get to something, right? Like that's not always caught on camera because we want you to see like what how to fix the issue, not necessarily where it is. So it does get it definitely is illuminating when you're actually in the truck and looking at it.
It gives it context.
It does, absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. And then to physically press that button in like on a Comfort Pro and actually know like, oh, I do feel that little snap
a
or
give.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like it I think all that helps.
I think in the video we did, we talked about that button. So you can look in there and see it, but it's hard to see when you're trying to push the button. So if you go in blind and you don't feel that release, well, there's a screw on either side of that button, and you probably hit one of those screws. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that with the motor running or off?
Always off.
Always off.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, the inside of a Comfort Pro, like
Yeah, it's pretty tight.
it's very tight, and there's belts on both sides of it.
sides,
So
Always
it's-
turn it off.
Always turn it off.
What do you think about the actual sleeper part?
Very pretty. I used to have an RV. And
Yeah.
It was obviously 34 feet. And then when you come to our sleepers, yes, they're smaller because it is attached to a semi truck, but it's spacious enough to move around.
Yeah.
You have all the amenities of being at the house. And what you were saying, being able to contort and everything, it's not really the case in our sleepers. I'm 6'2". I can stand straight up in the back of it. The shower seems,
Sure.
yeah. So I thought our
Doable,
sleepers
yeah.
were gorgeous.
They are.
And from now that I've been here about a month and a half, I've told almost everybody I know about them.
Yeah.
I've shown them pictures, and people are just like, I had no idea this truck was ever out on the road. I've never seen one before I started working here. And Y'all have done a great job designing these trucks.
It's funny. I remember I've showed people, like, here's what the inside of our trucks look like, or whatever. Like, if Eric and I are traveling, inevitably we'll end up at a pub somewhere, and conversational flow, and they'll kind of like, what do y'all do? Well, we're trucking. Well, you tell someone in Australia you're in trucking, and you say, like, we have these teams of trucks. They're like, teams? What do you mean? Because every truck in Australia has a coffin sleeper, which is, if you know what that means, it's basically a sleeper that is as wide as a single mattress.
Yeah.
Not even a single mattress, actually, like I would say cot size. Like they're
very narrow.
Very narrow little mattresses, and that's all the space the truck has, period. Like, if you remember Matt's Mid-America Truck Show, the last one we did, which we just actually highlighted on our Facebook page as well, there was a Scansia truck. Is it
Scania.
Scania?
Yeah.
SCA?
NIA.
Yeah, NIA. However you pronounce that. That truck, same thing. Little, tiny. You just, like, one person can lay in there, and that's it. So when you say you've got husband and wives driving together, they're like, wait, what? How's that possible?
how's that
That doesn't
possible?
make any sense. And so you show them our trucks. I've had people go like, oh, I didn't know all the trucks in America were like this. That's great. And I'm like, well, no. Not all the trucks in America. Like, we are in a boutique industry where we are enabled to have these luxuries. That is not the typical experience, because the typical experience is like, it was shocking to me when I started talking to people, because this is the only industry I've ever been in, that run for mega carriers, and they're like, wait, I'm sorry, you just said your refrigerator is the size of an RV fridge?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking, like, you're impressed by how big it is, and they're like, you have a refrigerator?
Right.
In all your trucks?
Yep.
And I'm like,
Yep.
well, doesn't Swift put a refrigerator on? And they're like, no, they don't. Maybe, and what Swift does, and it's like JB Hunt or someone I'm thinking does it, but still, it's like the things that we take for granted, the refrigerators, the microwaves, the full, like, 40-inch wide mattress, which two people can sleep on comfortably, like, all that stuff is
Counter
not
space to do meal prep.
hot and cold running water.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a given. That's not
it's
an
not.
understood. And to us, it's our bare minimum.
And don't forget about the satellite TV availability. You can bring your own hopper, bring your own receiver or whatever. It's all connected. And, that's what me and Kelly did. For your downtime, it's nice to not only have all the amenities of home, but to have a TV and watch, whatever you want. That sure helps when you're sitting.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have your own DirecTV or Dish network, then we do have the availability for you to purchase it, the service that we offer. We do not sell it. We do not have any gain in that or anything like that. So we do have a company that we work very closely with, and that is only $7.50 a week per team, per truck.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, per truck, like, you said they're going to have 2 or 3 trucks?
They may have.
You may.
You may want 2 units in one home. I don't know.
And then you
I
can
don't know
do
about
it.
that. I don't know about that, but
Here's the nice thing: you can do it in tandem with the Wi-Fi. So, what's
Yeah.
the Wi-Fi that we've got going on, Jer?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is runs on the T-Mobile network, and that is $15 per team. And then you get 250 gigs per month to use out there on the road, and it's very, very fast. And
now, if I understand this correctly, it's unlimited data, but the first 250 gigabytes are high-speed data, correct?
that is correct. After that, it does slow you down, but it's still very usable to check email or go to a web page or something like
And
that.
it's only slowing you down, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, and I apologize if I am, but it only slows you down in, like, major cities, the hotspots. So, like, if you're over your 250 gigabyte cap and you end up at the Loves in Houston, Texas, A, leave. B, it's not a good place to be. But B, there's so much going on that they may reduce your speeds. But if you're in Tucumcari, they may just not even bother and let you keep having the high speed, correct?
Correct. It depends on the congestion on the network.
Yeah,
Well, that's pretty cool.
it is. We've had people test it that said, like, we'll test it and try it out for you, because we wanted to vet it before we introduced it. Mm-hmm. And people say, yeah, I'll try it, and then we'll give it back or whatever, because we have our own solution. And they just never gave it back. They're like, this actually works really good.
Yeah.
So, and
I
then...
have
First of
not
all, for
had-
gamers too, right?
I have not had one team hit the 250 gig limit.
That's
and
a lot.
we do have people out there that are gaming on it with their PS5s and everything.
I remember
Wow.
back
That's
in my
awesome.
day, when I was in high school, we got a 256 gigabyte hard drive on our computer. And we were, like, blown away. Like, we will never, ever have this much space.
Never touch it.
Ever.
Yeah.
and that they can blow through that much internet in a month. It's just like it's so much information. But it's cool, and I do like this. The thing I like most about this is if you do have, like, one of the complaints I've heard people say, if you have a DirecTV in particular, is when they work with our satellite, they don't provide HD programming.
Yeah.
DirecTV does. I'm sorry, Dish Network does. So the technology is there, but for some reason DirecTV doesn't do it. If you use the internet instead of that satellite, you can now stream HD content to your computer or to your TV. So that always bugged me when I'm like looking at a TV and I'm like, it's fuzzy, not because it's a bad signal, but because
you're just used to high def.
I'm just so used to high def, and we put high def TVs in all the trucks. So, like, the fact that it doesn't allow you to have that it was always aggravating to me. But
Sure.
like when you're streaming off the internet, if it's available, you can do it.
To clarify, the DirecTV service that we do partner with the company, that is streamed over the internet. It does not go through the traditional satellite. So the nice thing about that as well is you don't have to worry about being parked underneath a tree or near tall buildings and things
Or
like
weather.
that.
Right.
Weather.
Yeah.
As long as you have an internet signal, you have TV.
Wow. Wow.
I do remember that. Might have been Kelly. No. Kelly is Jimmy's wife. It was someone, and they called and they said, our satellite quit working. We're like, okay, what happened? And they're like, well, we can't get it to work. And I'm like, where are you? We're in Maine. And okay, I'm like, where in Maine? And they told us, and they're like, they were directly, like, south of them was this giant oak tree, and they were parked under it. And I'm like, well, from Maine, all of the satellites are south of you.
Yeah.
So if you are parked and there's a giant oak tree between you and the satellite, with all those leaves, it's probably not going to. It's not going to allow that signal to work. And so they actually did. They pulled up and drove across the lot and backed in with a clear signal, fired right up.
Wow.
Didn't y'all used to have that issue at the yard sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. It would depend on where the dish was placed on the truck. If we were next to the building, we couldn't get a signal.
Giant steel building would
Yeah.
keep that. Yeah. So no, I love the internet version of it now. It's so much better, and it was something that people kept asking us for.
Yeah.
I mean, like, oh my gosh, every time we get people together, it'd be like,
You can also see that in the yard because the TV we have in the yard uses that DirecTV, that Wi-Fi DirecTV.
it does.
Yeah.
And it uses a T-Mobile internet source,
does.
so it's basically the same. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
very cool.
We're talking about like drivers being comfortable, things we offer in our trucks and this and that. And drivers are frustrated enough. There's so many things that will frustrate drivers. I've been there. I've been a driver. I think we've all kind of been drivers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
between issues with their carrier, between being away from home, missing their family and friends. Maybe you're missing a funeral or a wedding because you're out on the road. People have all kind of issues. The last thing we want to do is continue on with issues with maintenance problems on the truck.
Yeah.
If you're a frustrated driver and you got things, kind of going on and you have a truck problem, that just compounds everything because you can't roll, you can't make money. And so we do our best and to keep people up and rolling, that minimizes that frustration. And I've been there, I've been down, and it's not fun. So we really, really work hard to make sure trucks are in good condition. When something happens, we get them where they need to go if we can't troubleshoot it on the spot, and do our best to get them up and running again.
Well, one thing we talked about actually last week or 2 weeks ago on the podcast, I should say, last episode, was all the years of progress from when we started the company to now of the technology side of how do we track maintenance and everything we're doing. And Jimmy, since you came on board, we've changed that quite a bit over the years. With our new Fleetio and the things that, what's your name again? Jerry has helped set up. How do you feel about like the direction that from a technology side and being able to track and keep up with everything?
Having a maintenance management app not only helps us and helps us keep track of costs, it helps us know when things are due. Things don't go past due, but it's easier for the driver. They just a click on the app. They can see what's coming due, what might be past due. They get notices when things are past due. Nothing we personally have to keep up with every truck. We know the notice will get sent out automatically. And having that technology, having that ability for everybody to be on the same page of what's due on your truck. You have APU PMs, you have truck PMs, you have TCU PMs. Having that Fleetio app where once a month the drivers report a bunch of stuff about their truck, their tires, the windshield, anything within the sleeper, their lighting. Too many to mention. It literally goes on and on. They can submit that VIR once a month. It just comes to Hyfield through the Fleetio app. We look at it, evaluate it. When there's problems, we get them addressed. When there's small problems, so it doesn't become a big problem, and people aren't rolling down the road with DOT violations. It's been absolutely a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. And which brings me to this week's sponsor, Fleetio. We want to thank you so much, Fleetio, for all the support you've given us over the past couple of years. If you haven't had a chance to, go online and check them out, Fleetio, Fleet.io. They do wonderful. And I think they have a free service available, right? You can test them out, Jerry, something like that.
They'll set you up with like a 30-day trial, I believe, if you want to test them out.
Does anybody else sing the bingo song when you say Fleetio, like in your head?
Fleetio, NGO.
I know. I want to sing something.
We will now.
I know. Sorry. You're welcome.
Not to earworm you for the rest of your life, but
Yep, that lives there now.
Uh-huh.
oh, they've been great. And we talked about the other day. We talked about, and if we did talk about this, I'm curious because I've forgotten.
Well, it's been
Fleetio,
2 weeks ago.
It's been 2 weeks ago. We talked about the Fleetio app, and we talked about the things that we were doing. We even talked about, and Jimmy, you've been around long enough to remember the actual pen and paper VIR that we used to do, and just going to the smart sheet and then to the new Fleetio and everything. But you know what I didn't think about was, and actually this is spurred from a conversation me and Jimmy had earlier, was the open phone /
Quo.
Quo.
Q-U-O.
Quo.
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 They do advertising on my Pandora channel.
Quo, dude.
That is our app that we do all of our phone calls through. So we have, that's 833 Hyfield. If you call us on that, you are getting quoed.
You're getting quoed, that's for sure. Recorded quote.
Yes, and so it records all of our calls. It has the text messaging features and all that stuff. So when you see like the stop, if you'd like to not have air text messages or whatever, that's all that software program. It's genius. We actually got in when they were a fairly young company, and which was nice because their tech, from what I understand, Jerry, you can speak more on this if you want, but their tech department, like, it listens to our feedback, right?
Absolutely. If we have a suggestion or something that can make better, they're all ears.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's been a really good partnership to have. And we had some other ones, another one before that, which was a bigger company that was more popular, but really limited and could not care less about what we thought.
Right.
But Quo really, really has done it a really wonderful job for us. And I always thought of it as like, well, it's nice we have the phone calls recorded and yada yada. So if anybody says, well, someone said this or whatever, we have it recorded. We can find that out. And then if we have an internal staff issue, we'll do it that way. If it's you remembered wrong, I can actually play the call back and you can hear it, right?
Right.
So that's been a really cool feature. That's all I always thought about. Jimmy, you talked about how in combination with Fleetio, how much you like it, because just the sharing of situations, right?
Yeah, there's three of us in the maintenance department. From a maintenance standpoint, if Don answers a call and I don't, or if I'm on vacation, if I'm take the day off or something, I can always go back to Quo and look at the phone call, see what the deal was. If I end up taking a call from that same driver regarding the same issue, I'm already up to speed on it. I don't have to call Don, ask him what it was about. Don doesn't have to call me and say, hey, by the way, in case you get a call from so-and-so, here's what happened, and, whatever. So I'll be the first to admit, I was resistant. I was Mr. Resistance when this all first came out, and Kelly says, Patrick's going to go to a phone system where, we're all on the same, phone line and different numbers for different departments. I'm like, man, I just I knew what I knew, and what I knew was getting calls on my personal cell phone.
Yeah.
And having the ability to, number one, not have that on my personal cell phone.
Sure.
Oh, isn't that a game changer?
I didn't think at first it was going to be that important. Very important.
Yep.
Having the calls come into one phone line that you can look at, you can review, The driver's called one number. They don't have to remember my number, Eric's number, Don's number. It's been beneficial in every respect, and I have to admit I was wrong.
You're welcome.
I didn't know it was going that way.
That was all
I didn't know it was going that way. Thank you, Jerry.
Well, and the scheduling aspect of it too, right? Like, so when we first went to this, there was only 2 of you, so not much there to schedule. But now that there's 3 of you, and it's been 3 of you for a while now, being able to actually go in and y'all have broken up and have a schedule and telling the phone system, hey, here's a schedule. Who's going to be on? Here's going to be who's on duty. Here's the order in which to make phone calls.
Yeah.
And so if you are really off for the day, or even if you're off for 2 hours, you got to go do a doctor's appointment, or got to go to the bank and pull a heist or something. Like, the fact that you can actually schedule the phone system to where if I call in as a driver, or even in ops, if I call in, it's because I have an issue. Like, I'm still getting someone in the maintenance department to talk to.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's like, I'm number 1 on the phone, Don's number 2, he's number 3. We can switch it up. I could be 1, 2, or 3, but rest assured, I'm still number 1 in your heart. So number 3 on Quo,
Sure.
number 1 in your heart. That's how that works.
Eric was going to say something about Quo too.
Yes, from a learning standpoint, coming on with the company and not knowing everything what to say to drivers, Quo has definitely helped because I can go back on Jimmy's conversations, I can go to Don's, and I can read through everything that they've done and what they've already experienced. So it helps with the learning aspect.
That's true.
Be able to pick up on that, and I still use it. Almost every single day, I'll go back there and type in something, and it'll pull up what they've done.
You can search. If a driver sent in pictures of, a tire issue they had, and, geez, was that on email or was it on Quo? Yeah. You can just go to that driver's name and scroll back, and boom, there it is.
Yeah.
Very easy.
I think a lot, maybe too, what I hear over here that they didn't mention, that they're kind of mentioning, is Quo does translate. So
Oh, yes, it
transcript.
does.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
transcript. So it
I
transcribes.
wish it translated.
Sorry.
You'd be like, hey, Kayla. I'm sorry. Hey, Kelly, call me on Quo. So I can
yeah.
So it does transcribe.
You get an AI summary of
You
the
do.
entire phone call. Then you can click on the transcript and see exactly word for word what each person said in the
Yes.
phone call.
Well,
I've done that now with because
word for word, can we say
it is word
No,
for word.
it is word for word.
mostly word for word?
but it might come out Selena instead of Delina.
Exactly.
So she does her best.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's Quo.
But playing the audio back is very so. Even
Or you
on
can
a
play
call-
audio back. Yeah.
So like even on a call I take, instead of sitting there and having to take notes during the entire call, I can go back and replay the call immediately following it while I'm working on finishing or helping that driver.
Yes.
And then so all that information is sitting right there for me.
Yep.
I think he just likes to listen to himself. No, really. I think so.
A very deep voice.
Yep.
I love it from like if I'm getting involved with a maintenance issue, it's one of 2 things have happened. Either one, it's a huge major issue, huge, and I say huge. I mean, like we had a truck, sleeper caught on fire. That's a huge issue, right? Like
Sure.
that's not a tiny little thing. So it's either a huge major issue, or it's a driver who didn't like a policy or the way we do things, or the answer they were given on something.
Sure.
And so, not everyone's 100% truthful. So it is nice to be able to go back and listen to a call and hear exactly what was said.
Right.
And so if someone's getting me involved, I can listen to it and go like, again, kind of what I said earlier, like, hey, we actually messed up. Like, and then I can go have a conversation with Jimmy and say, hey, y'all said this in this call, and the next call y'all counteracted yourself, and maybe we need to fix that, right? If we have an operational inefficiency. And sometimes it's, hey, what you remember the conversation going is not what happened. So let's talk about what actually happened. And those are super helpful because when you are, like, especially if you're in the cab of the truck, you broke down. Jimmy just talked about it a minute ago. You're frustrated, right? Like, none of us like to be broke down. So you talk to maintenance. Maybe you talk to Jimmy once. Maybe you talk to Don once. And maybe soon Eric. And then you're angry, and we've all been there, and you're stewing, and we've all been there. I've been so mad on the side of the road, broke down, and it's my truck. And it's just like a frustrating situation. And so you play back the events, and if you play back the events enough, you can start to skew what really happened.
Sure.
And so, like, it is nice to be able to go back and actually have a record of here's what happened. It's the court reporter thing, right? Like
Sure.
going back and I remember you said this, and I go listen to the message. I'm like, oh, that's not exactly what was said, or it's not
Right.
what was phrased. So it is super helpful for that. That's what I see on my end of it. Because in general, I don't get involved because Jimmy and Eric and Don do such a great job of managing that department and keeping everything level. So
Right.
that part I adore. And then I know, just like maintenance, y'all love it. Recruiting, y'all have a whole other world with it, right?
I love it. Jerry is doing his due diligence on getting me to use my laptop version of Quo, and so I use my phone version, but I do look at the app version as I'm answering, or the desktop version as I'm answering my phone, right? Because how I use it is I see as soon as I've answered, it'll pull in any other calls and it'll show above. And so as I'm doing my greeting, I do a quick, multitask and see who talked to him last, how long ago maybe it was, maybe a quick what talked about. This is all why I'm doing the greeting at the same time. My favorite thing is always to do that. Well, I see we talked to you back in yada yada. You said you needed XYZ or you had such and such and such. Has something changed?
Yes.
Like, and if no, then, well, we still can't help you or whatever it might look like.
Yeah.
It just really nips a lot of our conversations. But it also, too, being on the same front.
Yes.
That's really important. I feel like all of our departments are saying, unified things. But if not, then, Delina can say, hey, can you check out this conversation, make sure whatever happened. And so just kind of double checking each other or
Absolutely.
Or listen, or did I say something wrong? Did I offend somebody? Just to kind of self-check each other. I think that's a really good thing.
Absolutely. That's the thing that when I went to Panther and hung out with them for a while, actually not up to there, I went down to Savannah, oddly enough, Eric. Your stopping grounds. Yep. When I went down to Savannah and actually got to meet with a bunch of the people from Panther, they were doing a big Panther fleet owner situation. And I got to meet with a few people. One of the guys was director of quality. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Right.
And you know what it means? It means the guy listened to the phone calls. He would randomly select phone calls from everyone in Panther's building every day and listen to them. And it was purely random. And so he was able, and obviously if there was a complaint, then he would listen to the complaint. But
Sure.
if there was not a complaint, he'd just do random calls and be able to listen to what was said. And it keeps everyone honest because you never know when your call is going to be pulled. Right?
Sure.
And when you have someone that is saying something that it may not even be like crazy out of line. It may just be like a little bit of like, there's a better way to phrase it.
Right.
You can address that. And you can be able to, so that you do have a uniform front so that everyone is presenting the way that the company wants to be presented.
We've used that a few times. So, in your presence, you've listened to, because we live together. So sometimes I'll work in your presence and you'll tweak sometimes how I say things. Tweak after the call.
Like, I wouldn't say we lived together. I would
wouldn't
say that we
either.
lived
I looked over at her.
perhaps in
Sorry,
the same city.
That's not what I meant.
I looked
do
over.
live
I'm
in the
like, she's
same
talking
city.
to Patrick. Why is she saying we live together?
We live near each other.
Vicinity.
So,
Yes.
but we've been together before. Oh, we got a hand raised over there.
No, I don't want to interrupt you. I can
Oh,
wait. As long as-
so
go ahead.
but we, you've critiqued and you've tweaked and we've done and really polished, the whole.
A lot of times in the car.
Answer. And
Yeah.
usually it's when we're traveling
Usually,
somewhere because
yeah.
that's another nice thing about Quo is as long as you have some sort of cell service, it works and you can work what we call remotely. So sometimes I'll share with Delina, hey, Patrick tweaked XYZ. If you listen to call from area code 213, you can hear and then she tweaks verbiage. So it definitely works well for that as well. But yeah, or those infamous. You said I was going to get a bathroom truck on move-in day.
Yes.
And that's not what we said.
Yep. That stuff happens. So it just helps, it keeps drivers honest and it keeps my staff honest.
Yeah.
Like, I think both are important, right?
And then
Like,
training. It works well for training.
it does.
Very, very
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
All right, Jimmy had his hand raised.
You don't pull random calls and listen to them, do you?
I don't have to. I just pull the ones where people complain about it for maintenance. That keeps us pretty busy. No, I'm kidding.
Is that why you're so busy every day?
It is. No, I kid. Do I pull random calls? Yes, we have random calls pulled. I don't pull them, but they get pulled and they get sent to me, and that's one of the things we do.
I think that's a great thing.
I do.
It is.
Yeah.
It also helps gauge, from my perspective, a little bit of burnout. Like if I can tell that, hey, these conversations aren't going well, we might have a staff that's having burnout that we need to work on, right? Like there's multiple metrics that come out of that. So that's I think it's a great tool. It really is.
I get more than the cell phone. More than I was gonna say, I still get people who call my cell phone because that's where things used to originate from back in the day. So go ahead.
I was just to say, the company I worked for before, they got 3 random calls picked a week. So, and that also helped all the stuff we talked about, training, say this differently. And it also helped when there was maybe something you weren't understanding. So the learning aspect of it all too. Oh, okay. Now we need to do more training with our team because people are just not understanding this new policy.
Absolutely.
Or whatever. So
You know where else we've encountered this before? A driver will talk to maintenance and say, I'm having these issues, and then there'll be our response, and then there'll be like a little bit of a headbutt, because that happens. Maintenance is by far the most abused department because it happens that way.
That's okay. We like it.
Yeah.
so
we
There's
only
no way we'd be in this position.
we
if
only
we
hire a
weren't
sadist.
geared for it.
But they'll talk to someone in operations or someone in fleet supervision or something like that, and not supervision. What do we call it?
Support.
Fleet support.
Thank you. So they'll talk to someone in fleet support, and the person in fleet support is like, "Wait a second, that doesn't sound right. Like, why would maintenance have told you that? That didn't." And then we'll realize maintenance maybe didn't understand, and it could be just they weren't described it properly, or it could be just your head was in the wrong place and you just didn't understand what the person was saying.
Sure.
And so it's like, hey, the two of us can figure out, like, this is the actual issue. And it's like, oh, well, if that's the case, this is what we need to do.
Sure.
Like, I understand it now. So it does, all that happens because we are diagnosing so much stuff off the phone. We're trusting, which is a big thing, local shops to be able to do repairs, do them properly. Also not rip us off, because if you've been in trucking long enough, you know that there's a lot of shops that have no issue ripping people off, say they're going to do work and then not do it. So all of that stuff factors into it, and that's one thing. Like, it took me a second to step back and think about it when you brought it up the other day, is just how much of a benefit that phone software gives us.
Yeah. We get that too in operations, where a team will come through the yard for some reason and have a maintenance issue.
Sure.
And hey, maintenance told me X, Y, and Z, and this is that, and this and that. And I'll reach out to maintenance before giving a response to find out, hey, do we have a record of this person complaining
You're
about this
great
and-
at that, by the
and
way.
what was told, so that we can be on the same page. I see an issue, and I might take it differently than what maintenance is looking at it as. So I want to make sure that I'm giving them the appropriate answer and not saying, oh, you need to go to this shop right now and get this done. If maintenance has already addressed the issue in a different way, I don't want to be that person. That changes things. I also like to keep shops to myself, if at all possible, and not send a truck over that's going to push one of mine out of the way. Now, if it has to happen that way, it has to happen. But I want to make sure we're on the same page with something like that.
Absolutely.
I think it also helps too that you're actually able to see or maybe physically hear sometimes if they do come through the yard.
Exactly.
And then you can relay that
Exactly.
to maintenance
Yeah.
and say, okay, if that what they told you,
Sure.
this is actually what's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Because
Yeah.
I'm on the
But you're
phone.
getting
We're on the
ops
phone.
view.
Right.
We can only
Yeah.
go by what the driver tells
sure.
us. We can't,
Yep.
Sure.
other than sending us pictures, it's hard to diagnose over the phone sometimes.
And sometimes a driver doesn't know what to call something. So I think this is hysterical. We had this happen the other day. Eric reaches out to me. He sends me a transcript of a voicemail that was, hey, Eric, I need to get with you.
Eric Hyfield did?
Eric Hyfield. Maintenance couldn't get this fixed, and my box is broken. And I'm like, he's like saying to me, I'm like, okay, so it's a complaint against maintenance. So let me dig into this and figure out what's going on. Like, immediately it's where my head went. So I'm digging through, trying to find all this stuff, and I'm reaching out to the fleet support that's over them, and then I'm just trying to dig through what's going on. And I finally was able to get to the call, and I listened to, it was Don. It was one of Don's calls.
I know exactly what you're
and
talking
so I
about.
called, so I didn't call. I listened to the phone call and get through it. And 10 seconds in, I know exactly what it is. The pre-pass died.
Yeah.
And it needed to be replaced. Actually, I think it was just a battery needed to be
Batteries.
replaced. And so, if anytime there's issues with our pre-pass or best pass or easy pass, Eric handles those. He has the master login, and so
Eric H.
Eric Hyfield. So he can actually do like rehits. So like if your best pass goes dead, chances are it's battery. That's the best case scenario. That's easy. You just pop out. I think it's a AA or AAA.
AA.
AA battery. New AA battery. You're good to go again. Sometimes it loses sync with a satellite or something, and so best pass will actually just re-hit it with a new signal, and poof, it starts working again. And if none of those two work, then it is a replacement, and Eric handles with ops the coordination to get that replacement sent out to you. So again, it's a situation where it's like, oh, this sounds like we have a cargo box issue, or
Wait,
maybe
the
toolbox
box
issue.
for toolbox. That's what I thought.
But it actually was a best pass situation. So I mean, like that was a very easy thing, like because of that phone system.
It's just like the mill light or the check engine light. The malfunction indicator
Oh,
light.
yeah.
Totally different animal than a check engine light.
Which
When somebody
did-
says, I got a check engine light.
Yep.
And we ask them, does it say check or is it just an illuminated picture of the motor? So
I would have called it a check engine light until I finally had the breakdown where I saw
was
check
a check.
engine light.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the fact there's two, because most cars don't have two.
No,
Right.
they don't.
Most vehicles only have one.
Just
So
one.
yeah,
Or-
like I
or
could,
were you asking a situation, what color is the light? And when they say green, you let them know, oh, your Jake brake is on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. How do you use Quo? Because, I mean, do people call you an awful lot or more now that you're in the brick and mortar building since we moved? Or
I don't get a whole lot of phone calls on Quo because my number's not published.
no?
I'm not much used to Teams, honestly,
Sure.
once they leave the yard. If now that we're in the yard and they're trying to coordinate things with me in the yard, I do a little bit more. Mostly text messages
Through Quo.
through Quo, but I really don't have a lot of interaction with Teams on Quo.
Nice.
Unless they're making arrangements to come to the yard for something, a carb test or something like
exactly.
that.
And then you guys, maintenance usually schedules that, lets us know when they're coming through.
Yeah. Which, by
And
the way, we do carb tests at operations.
Yes.
For any vehicle, any commercial vehicle that needs it. OTR.
Are we sponsoring and do another plug midway?
We should.
We have
Figure it's
Fleetio
time.
now
Time
OTR.
for another
It's
sponsorship.
time
isn't
for a
it?
break.
well, this segment is brought to you by OTR Services. If you need a carb test, you know those pesky carb tests that California requires. It's not legally allowed to require anymore, but they still do because what
They're
are laws?
California.
Yeah.
What are laws? Is that what you said?
What are rules?
Then I recommend you reach out to OTR Services. That's OTR-services.com. OTR-services.com. Now, that's not Vince. I know you're thinking OTR-DASH services.com. No.
No.
That's OTR and the dash symbol.
Or a hyphen.
Or
some
hyphen.
might call it. Yeah.
No, I call it a dash. You call,
call
it
it a dash.
a hyphen. I call it a pound. You call it a kilo.
Yes.
No,
No, actually, I just call it a key.
a key. Okay. So so it's at OTR-services.com, and you can actually go on there. You can see our pricing. You can schedule your carb test. Do we still? I'm sorry, not we. I have nothing to do with this. Do they still do the local, like in the general area, or is it strictly at the new office?
Nope. Actually, we only do OTR services at a few places around the Columbus area. We do not do it at our operations just because a lot of big trucks, it's difficult to get in there with parking
trailers.
and trailers and stuff like that. So we do have places that are set on our website that we do frequent, truck stops in the area and things like that. But if you have a particular place in mind, like you're delivering somewhere, just the other day, I did one myself. Where they delivered and they were still outside their facility, and I went there and did their test. So
you're saying you're mobile. It's a mobile service.
It is a mobile
is.
service.
It's a mobile service.
Yeah.
As long as there's data, right? Like there's a couple places we know we can't do because there's no cell phone service.
Right.
So then the test won't connect to the California servers or whatever. But outside of that, Yeah, it's pretty mobile, right?
Does the mill light has to be off, right?
It has to be off.
I thought you were going to say the
Same
North.
criteria as our trucks.
Yep.
Mill light has to be off. They have to have the warm-up cycles or the engine run time, that type of thing. Yeah.
Wait, you're saying y'all treat both fleets equally?
Well, we have to, otherwise the test won't work.
The state of California says otherwise. You have to treat everybody equally.
Yes. Yes.
And it's about 10 minutes. It's quick, easy.
The longest part is putting everything in the
That's
computer.
the longest part. Yes, it is.
Yep. So it's a really cool service, and we are sponsored by them. We thank OTR Services for their support. So we've briefly mentioned it on here, and I think we mentioned it a few times in other podcasts. But this Hyfield app, this is something that we've been trying to get together for a long time, and it's gone through a bunch of iterations. And I got to say, this past weekend, I had a lesson in the Hyfield app. And let me tell you, when it's 75 degrees outside and you're standing in line for the Bat roller coaster at Kings Island and there's nothing else to do, and you're with Jerry, he will absolutely pimp his new app to you.
No.
And demand you update to the latest version of it.
Yes.
And which you should. And he'll walk through it and show you all the cool features it has. It is amazing. It is amazing.
Oh, so glad you had a long wait.
I'm like, we had a few long waits, but yeah,
Go Jerry.
I've kept up ish with the app and what we've been doing to it and what's happened to it. I was floored. Jerry, can you please explain in 30 seconds or less everything the app does?
And go.
Go.
The biggest number one thing is all of our current contractors have the ability to log in and see all of their permits for the truck, their specific truck. They are able to log in and see the how-to videos for maintenance and different things that apply to their truck. They're able to see all of their contractor settlements. They are able to send documents to maintenance, pictures to maintenance, video now to maintenance. They can send documents and all of the same information to fleet support. All of that is built into the app.
Accident reporting.
Accident reporting.
That's been huge.
Yeah.
What if they come across a team when they're out on the road that is interested in learning more about Hyfield?
We now have a referral system built into the app. So as the contractor, you can open up the app, you go to the fleet support page, you click one button, it generates a QR code specifically geared to you. That QR code is valid for 30 days. You let the other person scan that code. If they're not with you and you happen to have their contact information because you were passing them going to the restroom or something, you can hit share and text that off to them. You can email it to them. Yeah. And then they can go to that QR code. It takes them right to our website where they can fill out a short form. And then all of that is linked back to the person that referred them, because we do have a referral system at Hyfield to reward those contractors who help bring in new Hyfield family.
And what I love so much about the app, I really do, is that it aesthetically, it actually looks really pleasing.
Yeah,
it is. It's comfortable on the eyes. Like, I've looked at so many apps over the years, and I don't mean to disparage Smartsheet, but like, there are some apps that just kind of look okay, right? Like, okay, this one, it looks good. It makes sense. There's some, right as soon as you open it, there's some large icons, I don't know what you call them, that give you, or thumbnails that give you a real quick picture of where you're at for the year.
Quick
financial side. It just flows so well, and it's so well thought out. It's super easy to use. I've been thoroughly impressed with it.
I wish they had it when I was driving.
Me too.
Right? Seriously.
I know.
Or, I mean, I wish Kelly had it when we were driving. She'd have been the one on it.
Yeah, maintenance has been promoting it too. Every time the driver says, "How do I send this in?" We
Yep.
always let them
Yeah.
know, "Do you have the Hyfield app?" And so we've been promoting it to the drivers and letting them know that it's out there.
And it costs nothing.
It's hard to get that change, like Jimmy was sharing.
Yeah.
Resisted.
Absolutely.
Quo, formerly known as Open Phone, and game changer.
All change sucks a little bit, right?
Sure.
Like, none of us really like change. It's just not. It's not our nature. Like, once we learn something, we kind of want to stick with that, and then go from there. But this app, it's free. We've eaten all of the development expenses. and it makes life so much simpler.
It does.
It clarifies, especially with pay, the fact that all the permits are per truck, so it makes it super easy to get. The how-to videos. So we've been doing how-to videos for a few years now, and the how-to videos, man, that was such a like, how do we put this together? Because I've tried to build a uniform fleet, but that's not been possible. Like, we'll have a batch of trucks that are uniform, and then we'll go to order the next batch the exact same way, and something will be different.
Right.
Like,
Well,
they'll
it's like the
have to
5
change
different
something.
APUs. That's not uniform.
Exactly.
We have to get different systems
100,
sometimes.
100%. So we're trying to figure out how in the world do we do this, because you could have a generator off an M2 Classic that is now on a Cascadia, which has a liftgate from an M2 Plus, which has a sleeper from a Western Star, and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, all the parts and pieces kind of blend together. So we're like, how do we pull this off? And Jerry was the one that came with the idea of, I do each component separately, and then I can build these playlists and build these videos truck specific, and it's just so awesome. And the fact, my original idea was like, you record the walk around, so you have an hour-long video, and you have to like scroll through the video to find the part of your truck that you're trying to figure out how to use. And Jerry's like, no. We do individual videos. That way you could just go straight to the Comfort Pro one. You don't have to drag the little cursor over and try to find where in the video did we talk about the APU.
Yep.
And it's just so much better than what I even thought it was going to be. And it's just, I'm very, very happy with the
Any
app.
feedback from anybody sitting here in the room about, are people using those?
The videos?
Yeah, we get documents all the time. Not as many as we'd like, because I don't think drivers realize how easy it could be if they had the app.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're resistant like I was. But yeah, we've had people who have gotten in a minor fender bender, and we get one email that has their driver's statement, has the pictures of their damage to the truck, the other vehicle, the registration, license, insurance of the other driver, everything in one spot. We don't have to go hunting 4 different emails, because the driver sent a couple emails at the scene. After everything was done, they went and sat at the truck stop, and then they sent their driver's statement an hour
I
later.
see.
So it's literally one email that comes in from Fleetio or from the Hyfield app that
Sure.
reports the incident, and it's all right there in one place.
And it's working really well in the app.
Absolutely phenomenal.
How about the how-to videos? Do people talk about using those too? I mean, because those have been around a hot moment.
Yeah, I haven't had any feedback. I haven't asked either.
No.
So
Yeah, but when you go to the how-to videos and you see the playlist count, you see that people are watching them, right? I think it's...
Oh, really? No, I've not.
yeah, well, yes. Well,
Some of us don't have access to that.
What? Should have access to that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's part of, like,
You can see the counts go up.
sure. And then a lot of people, too, like, if I'm like, hey, how do I do this thing? And I know that I have those videos, or a mentor just told me, hey, you have a video, go watch it. I watch the video, I'm not going to report back, like,
Sure.
hey,
You're just going to go fix
I'm
it.
just going to go fix it or do it.
Got
Yeah.
it.
while we're talking about this, Jerry, when someone uploads a picture, is it a scan type thing that does it, or is it taking a picture and sending in the picture?
So originally, I did have it set up to take a picture and just send the initial email that you get is a low quality image thumbnail, I guess you would say, and then you click on it and you get the full resolution. I've actually, the most recent update now does incorporate actual scanning of the document or the picture that is built into the iPhone. Android doesn't do this, unfortunately. Come on, Android, get on the ball. But iOS does have that built in now. So if you have a document, you literally can just hold your camera over the top of the document, and it will know exactly where that document is. It detects the edges. It scans it all for you, auto capture everything.
I've noticed it's the last several emails I've seen come in, people have sent in like documents of an invoice, of a work order, their TCU PM checklist that FedEx requires. It's neat, it's clean, because sometimes we get pictures, the resolution is such that by the time you enlarge it enough to try to see it, it's all pixelated. We've seen personal items in the background of people's picture, and that's, so having that in and of itself is...
Well, and talk about how nice that is, too. Like, you... The frustrating thing of, like, I send you a picture of something, you get it, you can't read it, so now you have to come back and I have to go redo it. Now I got to go redo it again,
Right.
and then you say, like, yep, still can't do it, all right? To be able to just, like, open the app, take a picture of it through the app, and submit it to you, it's done. I know it looked good because the app
Says it
handles
does.
that,
Yeah.
and it's just so much more streamlined. It's
Yeah,
less
if
stuff
the driver
to do.
doesn't have Genius Scan or Adobe Scan, and they send in a couple pictures, it's like, hey, do you have a scan app on your phone? No. What's that? And it's like, having the app, it's like cuts out all the problematic parts about
And
it.
Jerry, if I'm not mistaken, what I'm hearing here is all teams leasing a Hyfield truck should theoretically get an iPhone.
Absolutely. Y'all know me. I'm Team Apple. Come on now. Speaking of all new teams, that is a big portion that a lot of our current contractors don't see with the Hyfield app, and that is the onboarding experiences now completely overhauled. Whenever you come on with Hyfield now, you are signing all of your documents, your lease, your everything that we have you do, you're doing all of that before you ever get to the truck. And then whenever you do get to the truck and you're working with operations on move-in day and they go through and do your entire walk around and show you the truck, you're then taking the app and you're scanning the VIN. It matches you up in the database, pulls your information in, assigns you to that truck, automatically puts you in Fleetio, assigns all of that information on the backside. So there's a lot of components that are built into the app that a lot of current contractors are not even seeing.
Sure.
But a lot of contractors will see it, right? Because we're doing swaps the same way.
Doing
So
swaps, and we're doing lease renewals.
Yeah.
Just did a lease renewal this last week. And I think they both had used it, but maybe weren't very proficient. Like they had downloaded it. I do know they had to call Jerry for a little troubleshooting, but got it all figured out, and super easy though.
Yeah.
On how to do those, and then the way that it comes in on the back end is not. You don't. It used to take me 15-20 minutes to take care of all of onboarding paperwork, and now we're down to like maybe 5 to 8 minutes. So it's super streamlined and easy.
Oh yeah, and eventually it'll affect anybody leasing a truck from us, because at some point we will sell your equipment, and so you'll have to move to something newer, right?
Sure.
Or some people will do the steps of getting DoD or clearance, or getting whatever the other parameters are, and they'll move to a bathroom truck, or they will we've had people switch even from a straight truck and they want to go tractor or whatever. Like if people make those moves within our fleet, so now all that's going to be handled, and then the lease renewals you mentioned. I don't think we've really talked about that, the lease renewals on the show yet. So that's one thing. If you're listening and you're like, "What's a lease renewal?" I don't know what you're talking about. Every year Eric and I go through a long audit with our labor attorney, and they always look over all of our contracts. They look over our relationship with Panther, with FedEx, etc. It's annoying. It's usually you're doing a great job, give me $1,500. It's normally what it is. It's not fun, just whatever. I know Melissa, Buttermilk, and you and Delina, I've had y'all on conference calls with them before, and you have to walk through your spiel so that she hears everything, right? Because we don't want to misrepresent what we're doing. So that's why it's super important we get everything correct. And one of the feedbacks we got this last year was we have, in our lease, we've had for a decade now, an auto renewal, which is very normal industry-wide. It renews every 12 months. And if you don't want to renew that, give us 30 days notice, and it won't renew. Now we are being told we have to renew every year manually. So the auto renew has been pulled out of the lease. The verbiage. And so now every 12 months we just have to renew it again, which is not unheard of. Like Eric and I have to do the same thing with FedEx and with Panther. Like all those are manual renewals. It's just now finally stepped down to the lease operator of it. So that's coming up. So if you do get a call from one of us, it'll
be from me,
usually from Buttermilk, saying, "Hey, here's what's changing," and you're like, "Well, we've been driving this truck for 3 years. Why do we have to start doing this now?" That's what it's about.
Legal.
Unfortunately, legal got in the way, and so we have to make that change. But
no resistance.
Yeah, I was gonna say
most people makes sense. That's usually what I get. That makes sense.
Absolutely, and we haven't changed any language in the contract. So if you pull up your old lease and compare it to the new one, there's nothing there different. It's just we've pulled that auto renew every 12 months out. So that was one thing when we first did started doing this a few months ago, I was like, we need to talk about it on the show, and we never did.
Yeah.
I just forgot about it.
So Jerry's got that set in. It notifies me on day 9 out from
That's
when.
so cool, by the
Yep.
way. I love
It
that
sends me an
notification.
email on day 9. It says so-and-so's set to renew on whatever day. And so that gives me my prompt to call them. And so then I'll call and I'll have the conversation. And then he's got it set for 7, 3, and same day, or one day, to notify me. They get notified daily starting at day 7.
Yeah, and we get the same thing again from FedEx. They send us a, hey, your 1 year's coming up.
Yeah.
Would you like to extend this? And all, like, it's just it's very normal. It is a change from what we've traditionally done.
Yeah.
So
I think the new. I was just going to say the new guy ought to sing a song.
Yeah, well, I got something. I just wanted to thank everybody. You know, this is about a month and a half into the job, and everybody has been very, very, very welcoming and very educating. Any question that I have, everybody's there to help you. It really is a Hyfield family, and it was something that Jimmy was telling me and Kelly was telling me before I started in. They said this is a family. Everybody takes care of everybody. Everybody loves everybody, and it's something that once you start in with them, you feel at home, and that is what this experience has felt like. Coming up here and meeting everybody, it's just been a blessing. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to continue learning and to do a great job with you guys.
yeah,
Cool. Awesome.
Welcome aboard.
welcome
Thank you.
aboard.
Welcome to the team.
Yep, look forward to.
Welcome to the family.
I appreciate that. Welcome
Welcome to the
He had to one up us all, didn't he?
I've been quiet all night. I'm holding on to that one all night, Jerry.
Well, I got to throw a shout out, and this is going to go to Delina and to Jerry Kutch. And y'all are all very familiar with Mr. Jerry. Jerry was family. And so coming from Jerry to coming into a new family, it's, Jerry instilled that family right off the bat. That's my guy.
Yeah.
So coming into a new one, it's absolutely amazing to find that for a second time, because most people can go job to job, career to career, however many times, and they never find it once. So the fact that I was able to do it twice it's a blessing.
Absolutely. And if you don't know Jerry and you're out there going like, are they talking about Jerry McAllister? Because that's no, not talking about him. Jerry is Delina's husband.
Yes.
And he is awesome. He works with another large company out of Georgia, and he's just a really good friend of Hyfield. If you have been to our barbecues, you've probably met him. If you've been to a mentor retreat, you've met him. If you've been to a truck show, you've met him.
Yeah.
He's the cool Italian dude, just like, what's up? Let's get some portillos, you know? Like that's just his jam. But no, great friend of ours, and absolutely, like, he's just one of those people that embodies that whole family thing. And as soon as he's ready to quit his job, I will replace Jimmy so fast. Anyway, so if you are interested in seeing what this Hyfield family is all about, and you're like, you know what, I team drive, I want to experience this. What's going on? You should absolutely go check out HyfieldTrucking.com and see everything on our website. We got a bunch of pictures up there. You can see the trucks. It's a little bit of descriptions. If you're like, I want to take the next step, what do? You can hit a contact us form on there. You can chat with someone if it's during business hours, or you can reach us at 833 Hyfield. I believe that is 833
493 4353. Option 1, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time.
Absolutely. And we'd be happy to talk to you some more about it. You'll get to meet Mr. Jerry's wife, Delina, or possibly Buttermilk, or possibly the Jerry Maxter over here.
You can even Facebook message, Insta message.
You could
Direct
Instacart,
message.
direct message.
Instagram message.
You can get in our
Those
DMs.
get answered,
Yeah,
quite frequently.
absolutely.
There's lots of ways.
Yes.
Thanks for having us up this week. Thanks for letting me bring my guy up and go around all the shops and see our people. And it's been it's always great to come up here and get back with you guys.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming up. I know it's a hassle leaving your family behind and getting up here and spending a week with us.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure Kelly probably will need some therapeutic services. I'm sure she misses me probably really a lot.
She's starfishing in her own bed.
That was good.
No, Gus won't allow that. Gus won't allow that. You've met Gus.
Oh yeah, but
so Gus is happy that you're gone.
I was gonna say yeah.
He's starfishing in your
That
bed.
bed's so much bigger with one less, body. No, but it's a pleasure having y'all up here. It's a pleasure
Thanks.
hosting you, Eric. It's great. So those of you who don't know, Eric Hyfield and myself actually got to meet you personally one-on-one just 2 days ago. Like you were vouched for. We talked a bunch on the telephone, but we never actually get to meet face to face, and so it was actually kind of cool to get to know you, get to meet your wife. She's awesome. If she ever wants to leave, anyways, doesn't matter. So we will.
You need a new labor attorney, maybe.
Yeah.
She's an attorney.
well,
in-house.
We don't need an in-house attorney. Please don't do
Please
that.
don't.
Please don't do an in-house
At some
attorney.
point in time,
Let's buy 1,000 more
everybody-
trucks,
I
then we'll
agree.
consider
I
it. But
agree, but I
to
just
that level.
does she know app programming? We'll talk about that later. So, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
One bit. I ain't going nowhere.
Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate y'all, and we hope that by some miraculous situation, we were able to knock another hour off your drive, make you laugh a little bit along the way, make you question our sanity.
And
Either
hopefully
one of
you
those.
learn something too.
Yeah, that's sometimes the goal.
Sometimes the goal.
I'm not going to say always.
No.
That'd be
No.
lying.
That you can
we,
sing
we do
Fleetio
believe in
to
honesty.
bingo.
Right?
Oh, I almost had that. I almost had that
You're
erased out of my
welcome.
brain. If you can do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button if you're not already. It helps us out tremendously on the algorithm, and it will send more content to you from us. May or may not be a good thing. You decide. If you haven't been seeing us lately and you're like, wow, I haven't seen Outer Belt, what are they doing? Sometimes unsubscribing and resubscribing and hitting that little bell will then tell the algorithm, give you more of our videos. If you have a comments on what you saw today, if you have anything that's like, hey, this stuck out, or why is Jimmy wearing a pink shirt, anything like that, you could drop us a line on YouTube. If you can, and you're listening on this podcast service, drop us a review. Let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. We love those reviews. Share us within your friends and family that maybe want to hear what we have to say. And lastly, from Vince.
I think the burning question that we're getting lots of questions and comments about
Yes.
on this episode
Yes,
is, do we make the new guy wear white socks?
Oh.
we do. This was Black Sock Night.
It was Black Sock Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a quick story about the sock thing. I was there. So I've never been on a podcast, and when I took this job, the last thing I thought I was going to be doing was getting on a podcast. But here I am.
I did give you a
So-
4-day notice.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, 4 days.
So
That's more than we got.
I watched about 3 podcasts, and I started noticing everybody in the room. There was like a no shoe policy. Of course, Jimmy doesn't care. But there was a no-shoe policy is what I can kind of put together. So I told my wife, I was like, hey, you got to buy me some new socks. And she said, I just got you some in December. And I was like, yeah, but I've walked in them. I was like, they need to be absolutely brand new. So if you can see the bottom of these things, new socks just for Hyfield.
I tell you what, when you put a bold color like this red and black rug on your studio floor,
Yeah.
you learn real quick you don't wear shoes on them because they will show every speck of everything. So that's kind of how the no shoe socks only rule got started. But Jimmy, you just do you.
I'm glad you can play along. That's good.
Yes,
Well,
appreciate
I
that.
took it seriously. I said, if I'm coming, I'm gonna dress the part.
Attention to detail. We like
Thank
that.
you.
Yes.
I
We
tried.
like that.
And you listened. I can't tell you how many people we've had come on board and show up and have an interview with, and they're like, "Now y'all play this for the public?" And it's like, "Yeah, you could have listened before you. It didn't matter."
It'd be a little weird if you weren't putting it out for the public. If it was
It's just it's internal.
It's just the
just
5
for
of us
fun.
that are here. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, listen, everybody, until we meet again. Oh, no. Sorry. Woo, that was close. We have a little bit of an announcement.
Yeah. Nice catch.
It was close, wasn't it?
I know. So
Boy, I
close.
almost pressed the button, and that would have been a mistake.
Oh.
Jerry, tell people what they need to know.
It's going on break. We're on break. We're on hiatus. What do they call that? Summer
I had
break?
no clue. I'm the producer. I had no clue, y'all.
Hiatus break.
All right.
It's summer season. We're coming back out in the fall after Monday Night Football.
Okay, Melissa, tell the people what they need to hear.
That's me winging it, yo. Apparently we're going on hiatus for
All right.
summer.
Do we have to apparently? All right, Vince, your turn.
So I
No, you-
heard. I was
So
told.
we are going on a hiatus, summer break for us. We'll be back in the fall with brand new episodes of The Outer Belt for you to enjoy on your favorite podcast app or on the YouTubes, whichever one you want to do. So y'all have a great summer. Enjoy yourselves. Stay cool. stay warm, depending on where you're at, and we will see you in the fall.
I think sabbatical sounds better than hiatus.
Yeah.
We're going on sabbatical. So
Sabbaticals usually are paid, though, right?
No,
Well, yeah.
it's an,
Yeah, but you like
I'm
to
not-
learn something on
an
a sabbatical,
introspective
don't
time
you?
off where you come back better than you were before.
A high batical.
Well, that's not guaranteed to happen.
There you
though.
go. It's not.
It's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
We can't guarantee we'll come back better than we were before.
I might come back 20
week
pounds
to week,
heavier,
that
like,
changes.
that's-
So
yeah.
I feel you. The philosophical aspect there,
Yeah.
Jimmy. But
Lofty goals.
yeah, we are taking a break.
We're taking a break, taking a
Taking a break.
vacation.
Yep.
So in the meantime, y'all all stay safe and make good decisions.
And don't leave money on the table.
And keep those wheels a turning.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.